Hello friends, it's Susan Bruck, and I'm so glad that you are here. Today I wanted to share with you a couple simple little lavender rituals. Um, we talk, I'm sure you've heard of the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. In Waldorf Early Childhood Education, we talk about the 3 R's, rhythm, reverence, and ritual. And now, when I hear the word ritual, these images arise in my head of men or women wearing embroidered robes and carrying incense censers and chanting, intoning serious things. And of course, those are rituals, but there are many simple rituals that we can incorporate into our day-to-day life with our children. And so I'm just going to share a couple with you that I used to do in my classroom. I didn't do them with my own children because I didn't think about them then. Hand washing and lavender essential oil. So these were 2 things that the children really loved. I would have a bowl or a wash basin filled with water, warm water, and a little squirt of Dr. Bronner's lavender soap ready for the children when they came in. It would be set up at a low table. I don't have a low table. This is my kitchen counter. It would be set up something like this with a towel underneath and a nicer towel ready for hand drying. And the water, I'd always check the water, warm but not too warm, although for some children it might be too warm when I didn't think it was. And sometimes, depending on the group that I had, I would also have a towel on the floor to catch the drips. So the children would come in with their parents, take off their coats and shoes and put on their slippers if they had them, and then they would come over to the table and wash their hands. And I would sing usually this little song, and I would, if they would allow it, I would wash their hands for them, rub it with the water, and then take their hands out and dry it with the towel. But I'll do it with my own hands. This is the way we wash our hands, wash our hands, wash our hands. This is the way we wash our hands on a warm and sunny morning. And this is the way we dry our hands, dry our hands, dry our hands. This is the way we dry our hands on a warm and sunny morning. And often the children would want to wash their hands for longer, and that was always fine, unless there was too long of a line waiting, in which case I would just gently remove their hands and dry them and hand them back over to their parents. But if there weren't children waiting, I would just let them put their hands in the warm water for as long as they wanted. So we would do this. I did this also in my mixed age class as the children came in again after they took off their coats and put on their slippers, just to welcome them in, to have a moment of connection. And this is something that obviously easily you could do at home with a little bowl or, like I said, a wash basin. And, if you find a place in the day when you do it, before breakfast or when you come back inside from a walk, if there's like a rhythm to it as well as the ritual, the children will really come to love it. So another thing that I did was I would use lavender oil, and this would be like maybe after the children returned from the bathroom before rest time. And this is just regular lavender oil. But when I used it with the children, I would use in a bottle this size, I would fill it most of the way up with a carrier oil, like almond oil if I had it, or even olive oil, some kind of oil that's nice, that feels nice on your skin and it isn't too sticky. And then put in maybe 9 or 10 drops of the oil and, shake it up really well. And that would last forever. And then when the children would come to me, I usually was sitting in my rocking chair and waiting for them. And I would put a drop of oil on my finger, and then I would rub it on their hand. And I would either rub my own hands together or just take their hands gently and rub them. It just depended on the child. And then they would say this verse. Well, this is one of two verses. This was one. Lavender from the meadow wide, rub your hands together, and it comes to the other side. Then I would always smell my own hands, which smelled nicely of lavender. And then the children, in imitation, would often smell their own hands. The other little song that I used sometimes for the lavender would be this one. So I always put the drop on my hand first. Drop of wonder, from the one hand to the other. Can't you see? Can't you see? Drop of wonder for you and me. So that's another, and you don't have to use lavender oil. You can use any kind of mild oil that you like. The lavender oil is a personal favorite of mine, and I find it very soothing. But I would always, with the children, always dilute it and put it on their palms rather than I put it on my fingertips, but I would always put it on their palms rather than on their fingertips in case they put their hands near their eyes. But it was so diluted. Like I said, like maybe 10 drops in an ounce of oil, that I don't really think it would have hurt anybody. It never did. And then I'm going to add on to the end of this video a little recording I did of Lavender Blue, which is just a nursery rhyme song that warms my heart still. I just love that song. I can't say why. But you can use that if you like it for hand washing or for lavender drops, or just to sing it. I would often just sing it as I was settling the children down for rest time, because it was one of those songs that just spoke to my heart, and I know that the children could feel that coming from me. So I hope you enjoy these little rituals and that you find some ways to incorporate them into your own home. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I will see you soon. Lavender blue, dilly dilly, lavender green. When you are king, dilly dilly, I shall be queen. Who told you so, dilly dilly? Who told you so?